Hi, happy Sunday. How are you all doing? Welcome to today's video where I will share with you 5 challenges you may encounter traveling in Asia. It doesn't matter which country in the continent you choose to visit. Almost all the countries in Asia share similar challenges. The first one has to do with language. You should be willing to learn the local language wherever you are because you are bound to come across locals who struggles in expressing themselves in English. The next challenge you're bound to encounter has to do with social etiquette, social rules and regulations. Respecting authorities in Asia is something that is highly regarded. If you're within Asia, you've got to show respect to authorities. There is no compromise to that. And there is also no public show of negative emotion. It's not like other part of the world where people appreciate direct communication. Here in Asia, it's frowned upon. If you have issues, the first reaction is for you to be able to put your emotions together while seeing how to resolve the situation. Another social etiquette you should be able to respect traveling within Asia has to do with dressing. You have to dress formal and decent. You shouldn't wear indecent attires that exposes part of your body. And again, you have to be able to maintain proper hygiene. Many of you know this. I don't have to go into it because there are lots and lots of videos circulating the internet where people complain of racism or colorism. Well, to an extent, yeah, some part of the region is racist, but then how people behave to you has to do with your appearance and how you present yourself, your overall demeanor. So please, cleanliness should be part of your routine if you are living in Asia, and especially if you are in the employment industry. The next challenge you are bound to overcome has to do with the laws. When I talk of the laws, I'm looking at two aspects: visa related laws and of course drug laws. These are the two things that affect almost everyone traveling within the continent. So with visa laws, you have to make sure you do not overstay your visa, and of course respect all the policies that exist as far as visa extension or renewal is concerned in this continent. If you fail to follow these rules, you may pay fine and you may end up being banned from entering any of the country within Asia. And the second aspect has to do with drug laws. That is something that is very strict. In fact, Asia has one of the most strictest drug laws around the world. If you're being caught pushing drugs, you may either face the death penalty or life imprisonment or lots and lots of years being locked up behind the bars. And trust me, nobody will save you. So stay away from drugs. Another challenge you are bound to encounter within the region has to do with food. I'm laughing because it's one of the first things that really surprises me when I arrive in the continent. The food here is different from what you are used to back home or other part of the world. First thing has to do with its overall nature. Some delicacies within the region contains sugar. Those of us from Africa and other part of the world, we do not include sugar in our food, so this might be a problem. And again, most food here are very spicy, a lot of peppers, so you may want to pay attention to this. In fact, most of the delicious delicacies within the region are very spicy, so if you're somebody who doesn't like spicy dishes, then this is something you may want to have in mind before traveling to the kingdom. And another challenge that you will definitely encounter has to do with the culture in terms of what is religious and what is not. Yeah, permit me use that word. Asia is generally a Buddhist society, although Christianity and other religion like Islam is practiced, but majority of Asians are Buddhists, so you've got to be aware of this and respect the local rules. And depending on where you are, you may not see churches or mosque to worship in. You have to search carefully on the internet to be able to see one. That is if you're somebody who is highly religious or spiritual. And finally, the next challenge you should definitely have in mind when traveling within Asia has to do with employment. Lots of countries in Asia offer but teaching jobs. So teaching is all there is, and you're bound to have job in the teaching industry. So if you're coming over, you should be ready to engage in teaching. Although you can do other category of jobs in some parts of the continent, like in Singapore, from my understanding, there are plethora of jobs here that you can engage in, Malaysia as well. But in other parts of Asia, teaching is what pays more, and it's one of the easiest jobs you can find around. Don't get confused with the word easier. Easier doesn't mean you shouldn't perform. Of course, you should be qualified before you will get employed. Thanks for watching, and for those of you experienced travelers, I would like you to share your thoughts in the comment section of this video. What other challenges do you think first-time travelers may encounter traveling within Asia or other parts of the world? Thanks once again, and please remember to smash the subscribe button, and see you in the next upload.